Let's be real, half the advice out there about what women like is straight up wrong because it's written by men, for men, and based on the male gaze. What you think is attractive isn't always what she actually notices. Today we're diving into the female gaze, the stuff women genuinely find attractive in men, even if they don't always say it out loud. And no, it's not being 6'4" with a jawline that could cut glass. That's Instagram fantasy. Let's talk about the real traits that make you stand out in her eyes. Number 1. Quiet confidence. Here's the thing about confidence. Most men think it's about showing everyone you're confident. That's not confidence, that's marketing. The female gaze spots fake confidence instantly because women aren't just looking at what you're doing, they're reading how you carry yourself when you're not performing. Quiet confidence is subtle. It's in the way you stand without fidgeting when you're waiting in line. It's how you can have a conversation without feeling the need to dominate it. It's walking into a room and not scanning for who's looking at you because you're comfortable whether they do or not. Here's a visual. Imagine two guys walk into a bar. Guy A bursts in, voice raised, telling a story about himself, laughing louder than everyone else. Guy B walks in calm, greets people warmly, takes his time settling in. Guess who woman will remember at the end of the night? Not the loudest one, the one who gave off the vibe of I'm secure in myself, I don't need to prove it. That's the type of confidence that makes a woman think if the world was falling apart, this guy wouldn't panic, he would handle it. Number 2. Grooming that says you care. A lot of men hear grooming and think that's gay, or I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard. But here's the reality. Women notice everything, and grooming isn't about looking like you just walked off a runway. It's about showing that you respect yourself enough to put in effort. Clean nails, moisturized skin, breath that doesn't smell like you just drank 3 cups of coffee and skipped water. Hair that looks intentional, even if it's messy on purpose. Clothes that fit, not baggy because you didn't check your size. Not so tight that you look like you're trying to flex every muscle fiber. The female gaze reads your grooming as a reflection of how you would treat her. If you can't take care of your own hygiene and presentation, why would she believe you'd be attentive in a relationship? And by the way, it's not about spending hundreds on products. Even a basic skincare routine, a fresh haircut every few weeks, and smelling good will put you ahead of 80% of guys. Pro tip, find a signature scent, something subtle that becomes yours, because scent is tied to memory and you want her to think of you every time she smells it. Number 3. Emotional control. A man who can stay composed when things get messy is dangerously attractive because emotional control signals leadership and maturity. Most men either blow up at small inconveniences or they shut down completely and go silent. Both are red flags. The female gaze loves a man who can feel emotions without being hijacked by them. That means you can disagree without shouting. You can express frustration without slamming doors. You can take criticism without spiraling into defensiveness. Think about it. If you're the guy who's losing his mind over a waiter bringing the wrong order, she's going to wonder how you would handle a real crisis. Here's the kicker. Emotional control isn't about being cold. You can still be passionate, expressive, even vulnerable, but you choose when and how to show it. And that's the difference between being a man who's stable versus a man who's unpredictable. Number 4. Ambition without obsession. Ambition is sexy, no one is arguing that, but there is a very fine line between this man has a vision and this man's entire personality is work. The female gaze wants a man who's building something, a career, a passion, a skill, because it shows drive, discipline and self-belief. But here's where guys mess it up. They make their grind their only identity. That's not inspiring, it's exhausting. The most attractive version of ambition is balanced. You're chasing your goals, but you also have space for relationships, hobbies, and moments of joy. Why? Because when a man is so obsessed with his goals that he ignores everything else, it signals that he won't have time or emotional energy for her. And trust me, no woman is signing up to be a side character to your career forever. So yes, build, work, hustle, but also live. Be the man who's driven and passionate, but can also take a weekend trip, go on a spontaneous date, or have deep conversations that aren't about business. Number 5. Playfulness, not immaturity. The female gaze loves a man who can be playful, because playfulness is social intelligence in disguise. It shows you can connect, read the room, and bring joy without being childish. Playfulness is teasing her lightly without crossing into disrespect. It's making her laugh when she's stressed, and it's not being so serious that every interaction feels like a corporate meeting. Picture this, she's had a long day, she's drained, and you send her a funny voice message or a random meme that makes her laugh out loud. That tiny moment just made her associate you with relief and happiness. And that's gold. But here's the boundary. Playfulness is not immaturity. If you can't handle serious conversations, if you dodge responsibility, if your idea of fun is just avoiding life, that's not attractive. True playfulness is layered on top of maturity. It's the man who can switch between laughing at a dumb joke and discussing deep life goals without missing a beat. Number 6. Strong presence, even without speaking. Presence is one of those things that's hard to explain but impossible to ignore. Some guys walk into a room and people notice. Not because they're the loudest, but because they're fully there. Strong presence comes from good posture, standing tall without puffing your chest. Eye contact, enough to show you're engaged, not so much to look like you're in a staring contest. Stillness, not fidgeting with your phone, keys or watch every 10 seconds. The female gaze picks up on presence because it signals confidence and control. You look like a man who's not rushed, not desperate for approval, not distracted by every little thing. Here's a pro tip. Next time you enter a room, slow down, walk with intention, pause before speaking. You'll notice people turn toward you, and women especially pick up on this kind of magnetism. Number 7. Authenticity. Authenticity is one of the biggest green flags in the female gaze. Women are incredibly good at spotting when a man is trying to play a role, whether it's the funny guy, the alpha male, or the deep intellectual. Being authentic means you say what you mean. You don't pretend to like things just to impress her, and you're not afraid to have your own style, opinions, and quirks. Why is this so attractive? Because authenticity is rare in a world full of performance. And it's safe. She knows what she's getting with you. She doesn't have to guess if you're faking it now only to reveal your real self later. Here's the best part. When you're authentic, you naturally filter for the right people. Women who like the real you will stick. Women who don't, they save your time by walking away early. Attraction isn't a checklist, it's a vibe, and the female gaze cares less about perfection and more about how you make her feel in your presence. You don't need to be the tallest, richest, or best looking man in the room. You just need to master the quiet signals that says, I'm self-respecting and I'm comfortable in my own skin. Do that and trust me, she will notice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment your thoughts on the video. Good luck.